My first thought about playing in college was around the spring semester of my junior year in high school, which also happened to be the exact time when COVID hit. So I did actually start the recruitment process. I did some research into D3 schools, and I even started reaching out to some of the coaches. But it got to a point where I realized that the process was going to be very difficult because of COVID, in the sense that I wasn't able to visit any of the schools I was looking at, and I thought that would be a very crucial part in making my decision. So I ultimately decided to only focus on the school itself and just make sure I prioritized my academics, and then maybe walk on in the future, or just join club volleyball, or just do volleyball for fun. I ultimately just settled for prioritizing the school first. Right away, my first semester, I decided to play volleyball with a volleyball club in order to just keep playing for fun, once a week, pickup volleyball, which was very fun. But I ultimately realized that it wasn't enough. I wanted to play more volleyball. So I reached out to the coach who I happened to run into during one of my first weeks on campus. And that time wasn't a very great time to walk on because they were in the middle of their season. So I had to reach back out again in the spring, and that's when they actually ended up having a new coach. So I was talking to the new coach then, and then we were able to set up some tryouts. For the tryouts, I really had this mentality of if it's meant to happen, it will happen, and also part of me was still a little bit nervous to commit to the team. So I knew that even if it went badly, even if it didn't work out, I knew that it's okay, I can still focus on school. It's a big commitment anyways. But there was also another part of me that really wanted to play more, and really wanted to join. So I think just having that balanced mindset of I'm gonna give it my all, but if it doesn't work out, that's out of my control and it'll be okay. So the tryouts weren't too nerve-wracking. So when I found out I made the team, I was actually back home because I had went home for spring break, and I was on a Zoom call with Erin, the coach, and she told me, and it was a really awesome moment. I was so excited, and I was especially excited because since I was at home, I could tell my parents and my family first, and I know that they really love volleyball and they love watching me play volleyball, so it was really special to me to be able to tell them and sort of celebrate with them too. Initially, I was pretty nervous to join a team, especially in the spring as a walk-on, since it was an already established team and they probably already knew each other very well. But it turned out that the team was actually incredibly welcoming, right away. As soon as tryouts were happening, they were super welcoming and super nice, and I felt like I belonged almost right away, and that made it very easy for me to decide that I wanted to join the team because I already knew the atmosphere of the team was really good. Starting the season especially, I've definitely noticed that it's different than last year in terms of having less free time, obviously, but it's been really great to balance the schoolwork I'm doing and all of that thinking with physical activity, and just being able to come into the gym every day and play volleyball, which I love doing, really helps me I think manage my stress, or it's a de-stress activity for me. So even if I don't have a ton of free time, I still think I'm having a lot of fun in general.